Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. This is JB.
And I'm Chandler, and this is the Unbiased Hard Take.
And on today's Unbiased Hard Take, me and JB, football season is officially over. Last week we wrapped up Super Bowl, so me and JB are now putting football behind us. With that, DoorDash season rankings last year, the pick'em has been paid. JB got me my Taco Bell today from DoorDash, so I'm enjoying that as we speak. So you will be seeing me drink my Mountain Dew throughout the podcast to celebrate. However, I know JB's coming next year because he kept it close this year. So he made me sweat it out, but he's coming next year. I know it.
Heck yeah.
As he sipped on his Dr. Pepper. So with that, he has a new setup, like making improvements after the 1-year anniversary on the Unbiased. So keep in line on what's new. Speaking of what's new, me and JB have an all basketball podcast for you guys this week. So, JB, topic 1. The NBA All-Star Game concluded, my friend. It broke records, this All-Star Game did. I'll get into that momentarily. But the East beat the West 211 to 186. JB, what's your thoughts on the All-Star Game this year? A lot of people are saying that it was the worst All-Star Game of all time. What are your thoughts, and how does the NBA improve it? Because, yeah.
It's literally stupid. Like, I feel like there was no one tried, no one did. It's just, I feel like it's just the same way as the NFL, or as the NFL, or with the Pro Bowl. Like, no one tries, no one does nothing, try to entertain fans, and yet people are shooting half court shots. People just dunking out of anywhere at this point. Seeing what kind of dunk they can get, because they didn't get picked for the dunk contest, so they're trying to put on a show for the fans, which in a way I do kind of get, but it is, you're doing what the fans want to see, and is shooting half court shots and goofing off and doing all the other things, but I think it's stupid. It's like, at least try to put some effort. Like you said, the score 211 to 86.
186.
Oh, 186, my fault. And it's like, come on, just like this. It's like, I know you guys are not trying to hurt yourself. I get it, because you guys are the NBA is full bunch of crybabies when it comes to injuries. Oh, I got a sprained ankles. Yeah, well, you know what? You have offensive linemen over here that torn their ACL and they're still playing. Like, or have like a broken finger and they just prop back in place, tape it up, and they just go back out. And it's like, I mean, I get it, you don't want to be injured, but like, come on now. But I think it's stupid. At least put some more effort into it. And just seeing everything, and it's really stupid. I was like, at least put some effort.
I hear everything you said, and it's kind of sad, because truly, we'll talk about the state of the NBA here later, but it just doesn't seem like really players are as engaged as they used to be. You talk about the injuries. How many games Zion Williamson going to miss for soreness or resting purposes? You act like he's a 38-year-old guy. He's not. He's not. So these guys going out there, man, it's shameful. It's truly, truly shameful. This NBA All-Star Game, Damian Lillard was the MVP. Okay, cool, whatever. I have some stats here for you. It's the first NBA All-Star Game to 200 points. 200. Highest scoring All-Star Game of all time. That's a fact. That's a sports fact today a few days ago. It's embarrassing. Get Kobe Bryant's name off of that MVP trophy. He wouldn't stand for this. You had Luka try to dunk off. He threw it off the backboard to himself and tried dunking it and missed and just stood there. There was no getting back on defense. You had Bam hitting back with the ball and dribbling down the court and shooting a three-pointer. He made it, which was kind of funny. Check our Facebook out for that. But the most embarrassing, it's on our Facebook. Go check it out. It has the trash emoji. That's for reference, because the no dribbling, and it wasn't a travel. Where Jokic and Luka were just doing the pass back and forth, take 2 steps past.
like a little volleyball.
And that is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Here's my solution. Here's what the NBA should do. Back in the day, check out today's Sports Fact of the Day for this. This is the follow-up to the Sports Fact of the Day for today, right here. The MLB, before 2017, the winner of the All-Star Game got home field advantage in the World Series. The NBA needs to do the same thing. It's making me mad at this point. Because integrity of the game, get rid of it. Because it doesn't exist anymore. So whoever wins the All-Star Game, in my opinion, you want to fix it? Make the winner of the All-Star Game get home court. So this year, the East would get home court advantage in the finals. I don't care. I'm tired of it. People say that's too extreme. No, you get paid millions of dollars. Max McClung won the dunk. Right. And you need load management and you're afraid to get injured during an All-Star game. Listen, we all understand you're not going to go 100%. But play a little bit of defense. Yeah, do some trick shots, entertain the fans. Play some defense, care a little bit. I don't think that's too much to ask for. Winner of the All-Star Game needs to have home court in the finals. Let's see if Adam Silver, excuse my language here, but it's disturbing at this point. Because Adam Silver needs to grow a pair. And make that change. It's an embarrassment. Or cancel the game. Get rid of All-Star Weekend in general. I don't want to see any of it.
Ooh.
Do you have a solution? Do you think? Yeah, either make it meaningful and give someone home court in the finals, or get rid of it. Because at this point, what are we doing?
Like, honestly,
you're shooting.
The celebrities played better than the actual NBA players. Like, come on now. Like, you having celebrities playing defense and actually playing the game other than just, tossing it back and forth or self alley-ooping themselves and actually completely missing. It's like come on.
And it's actually sad because I don't think all of All-Star Weekend's a joke. I actually I watched the entire thing. 3/4 of the All-Star game. In the fourth quarter, I couldn't take it anymore. That's why I turned it off. I didn't watch the whole fourth quarter. I couldn't do it anymore.
Well, you'd be better. I would have honestly taken off probably the first quarter if it was at that point. I'm like, yeah, this is done.
I couldn't handle it anymore. I had seen enough. My eyes were burning at that point because truly, the 3-point contest was fun. I watched it. It was high scoring. It was competitive. It was entertaining. It was fun. So not all of All-Star Weekend is a horrible thing.
I mean, honestly, to me, the Sabrina and Steph probably had a lot more ratings than what the actual game itself was.
Yeah, and that was competitive. Steph won as I predicted, but it was very close. It was
very
entertaining.
Close. It was to the last money ball. So
literally, it was right down the wire. That's what you want to see. You want to see competitiveness. Like the score of the All-Star game was actually close. It was within, I think, reach of an All-Star game because Christ, there was 211 points. So 211 to 186 in a game. That, I mean, is close, I would say, because they're not trying. And that's the reality of it. Because, I mean, 39 points for Dame Lillard. He was hitting half-court shots, hitting multiple half-court shots. Yeah, I can't. It's got to make a change. Something's got to change.
You can't do it in the actual game itself.
That's because players are trying. Mostly, it seems like.
Well, I mean,
players are actually playing defense.
You know what I mean, though.
Right. I get it, but I just can't handle it. Yeah, they need to do something. You think that's too hard, though?
Make it.
What's your solution?
Make it more competitive, like you said. Or heck, even do it like how the Yeah, like, I know that there's a longevity, of games that are being played, right? So if you go out and you think, because you need probably a break from playing multiple games for weeks ahead, because like what week are we on? Like 50 something?
Oh, I'm not sure. I know the season's half over because it's 82 games in the season, but they've played over 41, so we're over halfway there.
Yeah, so it's about 40 plus, and yes, your body will get tired because you play one game, and then 2 days later you probably play the next game, and you play with the next, and it's like yes, your body will get tired. So yes, you have that break in between. So I say make it a little bit closer to the playoffs, other than making it half. So it could be somewhat more competitive, and have also with you going out with whatever conference wins, that's the home court advantage. Because most of the players that are playing most likely are probably going to be in the playoffs.
I mean, if they're an all-star, you would hope so.
Yeah, if you're an all-star, and you're probably most of the teams that are actually ranked in the play-in or in the actual seeded. So you would think you have some competition right there. So
Okay.
at least get it to that point, and say, all right, our season's almost to an end. We need to get somewhat, and all of us are in the play-in or in the playoffs. So we need to bust our butts and actually go ahead and get our home court advantage if we play hard enough.
Yeah.
So I see it like that. Like make it
Now,
not halfway or close to the playoffs.
now you just sparked like a light bulb moment in my mind. I didn't think of this. Is it? I don't know the logistics. I'm not the schedule maker, so those nerds out there that want to get me with the analytics here. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but would it be possible for the NBA to conclude its 82 do the regular season and then give weeks off before the playoffs start, and then the first week's the All Star? You know what I'm saying the first week is the All Star week.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you play your All Star game. That's when the All Stars are out there, and that second week is when players get to rest, get ready for the playoffs. If you didn't make it, your season's over. If you did make the playoffs or the play-in, now we're getting ready for that. I mean, that's I think that's a good thing, possibility as well.
Get rid of the preseason.
You need the preseason because you need to find out who your rotational guys are going to be. Who
Nope,
you're sending down to the G League.
nope. That's the NBA for you. You have all these games, and for people to actually rest, that'll probably be taking off more of the load management that these NBA players are complaining about. So take off the preseason, and yes, we'll probably do what the NFL does. Go to the other team's practice facilities, play a game, and then figure out your rotations. Because you're still in
Scrimmages.
practice. Yes, the scrimmages. Play scrimmages during the off season or like training camp type of thing. Go out, do that. Figure out who your rotation guys are, and then go start with the regular season.
Okay.
Because
I mean,
how many games is there in the preseason?
I will check real quick, but if I'm not mistaken, which I do not think I am, I believe there is still 7.
Well, see, there we go.
Let's see.
And I think all teams do get either 6 or 7 games.
Five games. Between 4 and 5 games to prepare for the actual season. I feel like at some point it used to be 7 though.
Yeah.
I don't
So,
know.
anyways, yeah, because they're probably taking off that load management.
I mean,
And so,
that's a possibility as well.
so get rid of the preseason, make more scrimmages during the off season, or like during training camp, like what our training does. Put him or go through that, figure out your rotations are, and go from there.
I mean, you're not wrong because you still have the summer league to evaluate guys you want on your roster as well. So
Exactly.
that's a possibility. Really, though, at this point, anything's better than what we have right now because these players they just don't seem to care. That's the problem. There's no caring.
Yeah, ever since they see the money, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna lay back."
Yep. We'll play
It's like,
50, 60 games at a. Yep.
I'll say this about the load management. I know it's like they're talking about the All Star weekend. Man, we gone off course to the load management. How about this? Have their contracts will go. You have to play this many of games to get this amount of money, and if you don't play those games, not including injuries, but there has to be serious injuries like torn MCL, ACL, broken leg, broken finger, like something physically wrong with your body that you cannot walk or move or anything. Not like an sprained ankle, because that doesn't count. High sprained ankles don't count. Swollen wrist does not count. Broken wrist, yes. Anything broken or a serious tear or a hamstring, that includes with the injuries. Not anything swelling or soreness, that doesn't count.
Huh.
So
Well, I mean,
you have to make this amount of money or get this amount. If you want to play, if you get this amount of money, you have to play this many amount of games. Just like how you have to be eligible for the MVP. You have to play this amount of majority of the games to actually get an award.
okay.
So if you want this money, you need to play for this money. And if not, here's the contract that is the base requirement. But I know that's probably will never happen. But that's
They would have to negotiate that in the next collective bargaining agreement when that contract expires. I mean, that's what the NFL does. Most NFL contracts are not fully guaranteed, except Deshaun Watson's. We've had that talk many times.
and
I think
then
we can leave that there.
but yeah, and then also it's like how like also going back to what you said with the NFL, it's like you have to get this many catches with this many yards to get a sign-on bonus. That's the same
Yes.
thing with the injuries.
Right.
Or
And that
the
would
weeks.
ultimately, though, truly, though, this All-Star game all goes back to effort and giving and caring. And load management's part of that. It really, really is.
Mhm.
And it's starting to bleed into the All-Star game. It's just, there's no effort in the season. There's a lot of load management. It's just the MVP of the All-Star game almost means nothing now, and the All-Star game almost means nothing because of that. So it's starting to become a cancer on the entire league.
Yeah, because if you want to look at the all the big all-stars, LeBron James had 14 minutes of play. Luka 23. Let's see. The people that actually played the most was Shai Alexander, Luka with 23, Karl-Anthony Towns with 28 and Steph with 26 minutes. Everyone else like in the low 20s and in the teens. So
I mean, I'm with that because you all stars, the players, you have to get them all out there. I get it.
Mhm.
That I don't really have an issue with. But when you're out there, try. Play defense, have some integrity. I mean, you got Jokic and Luka were actually joking about how much they don't care. They've been quoted on it. Look it up. Their players are public. Players truly don't care that much that they flat out say it to the media. They just don't care. They got
Mhm.
their money. All that matters.
Yeah, I'm looking at the team stats. 97 threes for the East and 71 for the West. It's ridiculous.
Not a good
two
look for the NBA.
2 blocks for the West, 1 for the East, 8 steals for the West, 6 steals for the East, 11 turnovers for the West, and 14 for the East.
Yeah, that
Oh, and 2
not a good
fouls
look.
for the West and 1 foul for the East.
Yeah, because there was no defense.
Yep, exactly. No defense, no nothing. No nothing. Just the worst play or All-Star week game that
Ever.
ever.
Ever. Ever. You have G League players winning your dunk contest again. Yeah, something's got to change.
Yep.
Speaking of things that hopefully change, me and JB will move on to topic 2. And more basketball, like I said, all basketball topics this week. So, JB, we're going to move to college basketball. Unfortunately, Purdue men's basketball lost to Ohio State 73-69 the other night, and they dropped to number 3 in the rankings. JB, what's your thought on Purdue's most recent loss to Ohio State? And they play Rutgers tomorrow night.
Well, I'll say this. At least it wasn't a school that we'd never heard of. At least it was a well-known team. Not like, oh, I don't know. Southwestern,
West
Eastern,
Middleton
West,
Higher.
whatever state or whatever college. Like, it's like at least it wasn't a horrible loss. Because we held it kind of close. So at least we didn't get shut out. So but it was still like I said, it was still a really close game. I'm looking at the stats here. Thornton and Battle was probably their only 2 players that actually wanted to win more than anything. And then when looking at our starters really played decent. Played Edie had 22 points. Kaufman had 12, Smith had 12, and Jones had 12 or 13. Lawyer, he had 6. But yeah, I feel like we just need to shoot the ball more better. It's like we didn't shoot the 3 ball as much, which I said before. It's like we need to stop shooting all these threes. We only shot 9 that whole game. But we only went 3 for 9, so basically everything was all inside or in the mid range, and which I was okay with. But there's come to a point where we need to shoot a little bit more, because making only attempting 9 threes and basically giving your ball to Edie, like it's going to be at that point where it's going to be teams are going to figure out how to stop, and we need to just kick it out and actually shoot the ball. So, because Ohio State, they shot 21 threes, attempted 21 threes, but only made 7. So I feel like both of the teams were horrible at the 3. But they just played a little bit better on the inside or inside the arc.
Hey, it sounds like me and you are going to reverse roles this week, because it sounds like you're a little more relaxed about this loss, that you're kind of optimistic.
I don't want to say I'm optimistic. Am I surprised that we lost? No, I am not surprised that we lost to Ohio State. What I am surprised of, it was closer than I expected.
Ohio State's not nearly as good as we are in basketball.
Oh, I know. But remember, it's Matt Painter we're talking about here, and it's almost to the March Madness. It's literally we have. Hold on.
Because it's Matt Painter, he says.
We have 8 more days until actually March 1st. So it's almost there. So he's warming up with his with everything that's going on right now. So he's just warming up. Don't trust me. Trust me on this, guys. Trust me on this. He's warming up, okay? He's warming up, and this is just a step ahead of his failure in March Madness. So this is just a step ahead. So we're going down to 3, and it's like, well, you know what? We tried our best.
You know, the sad part is I remember when you weren't so calm back in the day. I think we've had so much Purdue disappointment that you have accepted it.
Yep.
You know, I haven't accepted it because I can't. You're right. It is almost March. It's almost like Matt Painter smells it and goes, I have to screw up now. He folds. He folds
It's
when
almost
March
like the Afro
Madness
Man,
comes on.
one of the Afro Man with the intro with Colt 45. Woo!
Well, yes. That's how he smells March. He's
Good morning, March.
See you next year. Because if Purdue
Oh,
don't
he's not.
get it
We're not.
together,
We're not gonna have him next year. Nope.
the sad part is, you think we're really going to fire him if we lose in the first round? Do you really?
Yep.
Do you really think we will?
Yep. I hope so.
They won't do it.
I will start a petition.
Yeah.
I will start a petition. If he loses the first round of the March Madness again, I'm gonna start that. I'm gonna send it to everywhere. And it's like, hey,
Or second
here,
round.
sign this. You know, at least we
do that.
made it to the second round. If we do, at least we made it to
No.
the second round.
No. It doesn't matter at this point. It doesn't matter at this point. Truly, if we don't get to at least the Elite Eight, I'll start a petition. I think he needs to get to a Final Four to keep his job. But we can do that. If they lose again early on, like we think they're going to, we will start a petition, and we will. Yep,
Petition.
we're going. The unbiased will do that. However, I'm going to jump right to where you were because you are exactly right. But what I think you're missing is the starters, like you said, played well. But what didn't play well? 4 bench points. You got 4 points off the bench.
Mhm.
No wonder you lost.
I was about to say that, but I kind of knew that you were gonna add on to it. So,
Hey, what 4 bench points? You had literally no bench production. Of course, you lost to Ohio State. And Ohio State's no powerhouse in basketball. They're 16-11, and they're not ranked. So it's not like we lost to a powerhouse.
This is the first time in a while that Ohio State is not ranked.
Only ranked in the 20s, but nowhere nearly as good as Purdue is.
Excuse me.
Nice. That was a good one. But nowhere nearly as good as Purdue. Not in basketball. So there's no reason to lose to them. But you're right. March is coming. We're warming up. We are warming up for that big disappointment. It's coming. I smell it. Yeah, but we are number 3. UConn just lost, so we have a chance to kind of bump back up. We'll see what we do tomorrow against Rutgers. March is coming, literally 10 days away. And here we are again. I believe it's happening. Anyway,
It's less than.
Boy, it's every year. It's every year with Matt Painter. No excuses this year. Go to the Final Four, get out. That's all I got. 4 bench points. Same pattern as every year before. I hope around. I'm hopeful. I haven't accepted the misery like JB has. I refuse to do so. But we got Zach Edey. We got Smith at guard. I think we got plenty. We're the best team in the country, I think. So
We have
keep
plenty. We have plenty of potential to actually make it and actually win. It's just
this is the
The choke
the best
artist
Purdue team
of
I
March.
recall in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and there's no excuses here. This is the best Purdue team I can recall in a long time.
Yep. So we'll see how we face against the Rutgers. Even though they are 14-11, they're 6-8 in the Big Ten. So
Good chance to bounce back. This is a very good chance to bounce back.
yep.
We will see what Purdue does. With that, we are now going to get into casual talk. Again, casual talk, kind of recap that, is where I try to find a topic, or JB tries to find a topic that we think we will disagree with each other on, and kind of will get people sparked interest in. Like I said, like last week, me and JB script these things well, our topics. We do plenty of research. I have my notes here. But the talk is just kind of change things up with football season ending, and to kind of talk how me and JB would about sports off air. So, JB, with that casual talk this week, we're jumping right back into the NBA. With that, LeBron played 14 minutes in the All-Star game. When was the last time you can recall that? LeBron's talking about retirement. He's the oldest player in the league. So, we talk about load management. JB, what's the state of the NBA right now? And with LeBron starting to kind of wind into the end of his tenure, and Steph Curry as well, who's the face of the league? Who will be the face of the league once Braun and Steph leave?
So for me, I do believe it's like I'm looking at their talent, how young they are, and see how greatness that they're gonna strive on. So for me, there's quite a few young players in the NBA right now. Quite a few. Because you got Anthony Edwards, Victor Wembanyama, and it's just the list just goes on. What Luca, um, the Joker, Nikola Jokic. Um, there's just so many young players that actually is is there, right? To me, I think it's going to be it's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard choice, but I think it's going to be Anthony Edwards, in my opinion, because if you look um how young he looks, or how he plays, and he plays like a veteran player, like legitly a veteran player. And some people are actually I hate it when they're referring people. It's like, you look just like this guy, you look just like that guy. I hate it. Be your player, right? You play how you want to play. And it's like, yes, everyone has like, well, my favorite player is Kobe Bryant, so I'm going to try to put my game close to Kobe Bryant as possible, just like how Kobe Bryant tried to imitate Michael Jordan's moves because how great he was. So what do you do when you want to be great? You try to train like him. You basically be him, right? So I think that's what Anthony Edwards is doing. He is playing like Kobe. Has the same mentality like Kobe. And I'm not saying he's just like Kobe. I'm not. He has the same mindset as Kobe Bryant, the training and everything. And he's I think he's one of the best younger players that the NBA has to offer. Victor Wembanyama, he's too young. He's a rookie. I don't want to say that he's the best prospect. It's like, no, best prospect since LeBron James. Like, no, like what has he done as a rookie right now that LeBron did when he was a rookie when he went to the Cavaliers? Look at look at the Spurs' record and look at LeBron James's record as a rookie. As a for the Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Cavaliers Jesus Christ, I already missed football already. I'm talking about the Cleveland Browns. Good God. Worst franchise in the league. Anyways, and then you go out.
Well, it's because you're haunted by Myles Garrett's Defensive Player of the Year award.
Shut up. So, let's check. Because if you look right at the Spurs' record, where are they at right now? They're a losing record. They're closely to one of the worst teams in the league right now. And if you look at LeBron's record as a rookie, LeBron put the Cavaliers into the playoffs as a rookie. Frankly, I think he lost the first round, but oh wait, no. Was it first round? Or did he take
They missed the playoffs his first season.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
Oh, wait, no, this was the second season. Duh. Second season that he brought him. But still, I mean, he had almost a winning record, though. With a...
Yeah,
with a trash lineup. So...
Oh, he took a trash team to the finals in 07 versus Spurs. They got swept. But
yeah. So, I mean, there we go. But it's... Well, I don't think Wembanyama is not the face of the NBA. It's either Jason Tatum. They're probably going to try to force it on him, and I think he's going to take the limelight, and he's just going to be trash at it. I think Anthony Edwards is going to steal the face of the NBA to Jason Tatum, because everyone's going to say, well, what about Kevin Durant? What about Steph Curry? What about all these older players? They're they're halfway to 40. So what, you're going to make him the face of the franchise or face of the NBA for like what, 3 seasons? And now what? Now what are you going to do? Why? Because you just want that title because LeBron had it? Like, come on. It's like he's like almost saying you're having your favorite player as the face of the franchise. Would be nice, right? But talent-wise, how young they are, how good that they played in the league for more than 3-4 seasons in the NBA, 5 tops. See how good you play, and then go out and like I said, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Anthony Edwards, Luka, Nikola Jokic. It's like those are really great candidates. Oh, and Shai Alexander. He's also a really good one too. Damian Lillard is he's in his young 30s, I think. You think he's like, what, 31, 32?
He's in his 30s, yeah.
Yeah, so early 30s. So you can actually kind of put him in the mix as well. Kind of.
Oh, I mean, 3. So LeBron's not retiring next year.
No.
So by the time LeBron
he's gonna wait for his son to get in the league, and then Lakers. I feel like the Lakers are gonna try their hardest or try to do something so he can draft, or wherever the team goes or whoever drafts him, he's gonna go to that team, play with them for 1 season, and then he's gonna dip.
You know, so. I mean, you're definitely right on Wemby because I have 11 wins. In LeBron's first season in 03-04, they won 35 games, lost 47. So they were much more competitive than the Spurs are this year.
Mm-hmm.
So Wemby's still sort of to be determined, I guess is what I'm looking to say. You look, for me, I think it's Jason Tatum. I think Jason Tatum is going to be the future of the league. People say, well, what about Giannis? Giannis is better than Tatum. I agree. Jokic is better than Tatum, too. So's Embiid. All 3 of those players have one thing in common. They're all 29. They're going to be in their 30s before LeBron and Steph call it quits. Steph and LeBron aren't calling it quits now. So we got to look 2-3 years down the road. So age, that matters. Like you said, do you want to make a 31, 32, 33-year-old player the face of the league? They've already proven themselves. Giannis has already won a championship. Jokic's already won a championship. Embiid's already won an MVP. He's proved he's a great player during LeBron's era. Tatum, yeah, he's made the finals. He's won an All-Star game MVP. Been an All-Star multiple times. I get all that. 25. He hasn't won a league MVP yet. He hasn't won a Defensive Player of the Year. He hasn't won a championship. So he hasn't hit his peak yet. Who's he play for? That matters in the NBA. You think the NBA wants to make a Charlotte Hornet or Washington Wizards player the face of the league? Probably not. Boston Celtics, great teams ever. There you go. There's a good face for the league. Tatum's a great player. Tatum's proven. Tatum needs to break through and win a championship.
He needs
LeBron's
to stop
Xing it out.
choking in the playoffs. You know.
You're exactly correct. He needs to break through like LeBron did. LeBron wasn't the face of the league until he left for Miami and won a championship. He wasn't. Not quite. I mean, he was the best players in the league, but you still had D Wade, you still had Kobe Bryant, you still had players like that. So you got to look at age. People would say Luka. I get that Luka has the same accolades, a little more, because he has more All-Pro teams, All-NBA teams, and he has a Rookie of the Year. But Luka, I don't think Luka wins enough. If the season ended right now, the Mavericks would be a play-in team, and the Mavericks missed the playoffs last year. Luka's more like this generation's Carmelo Anthony to me. Carmelo Anthony, I don't think he'll win a championship. Was an ending player, one of the best scorers of all time. Where'd Carmelo lack? Sometimes in effort, sometimes in defense. Where's Luka lack? Sometimes in effort, sometimes in defense. Great player. Carmelo's a Hall of Famer, but that would be my comp. I think Tatum's the next face of the league. The face of the league doesn't always necessarily have to be the best player. But you look at the state of the NBA, though, overall, we got to get past the load management. And LeBron said it himself in an interview, let it happen organically. And it'll happen organically. Only time will tell. But if I was a betting man, I'd bet on Jason Tatum. I don't like talking great about Celtic players. I hate the Celtics. But I'm being unbiased. I mean, the dude's a baller. He's in his mid-20s. And he plays for the Celtics. And I know team doesn't matter well, but look what their record is also. They're number 1 in the East. They're 43-12. They have the best record out of all teams in the league. The best team in the league. And they're that way every year. They've been to the finals.
Consistent.
They just need to kind of get over that hump and finally win a championship.
I agree.
And Tatum has a great co-star. Jaylen Brown is a great co-star. He's not the star, but he's a good sidekick for the star. They have a good thing going in Boston.
It's like whoever drafted them two should get a really nice big signing bonus. Because
was that Brad Stevens or was that Danny Ainge who drafted them?
I think it's Danny. Hold on.
This is the best part of casual talk. We just we get off topic for a little bit, and that's the best part of casual talk. I think it was Danny Ainge who drafted. Brad Stevens was still the coach.
And
if I recall correctly. Pulling things out of that memory file I talked about last week. JB's on check for us, though. The moment of truth. Find out if my files are correct or not. Do 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 do. Tatum's been in the league, what, 6 years?
Yes. I do believe so.
Oh. Boom, 6 years. Got that one right. General manager in 2017 was Danny Ainge. That was when they drafted him. Head coach was Brad Stevens. I have it
Yep.
right here.
That's what I thought.
Boom. The memory files I keep telling people about, man. Chandler, don't forget.
But yeah. So yeah, those two need a really nice big signing bonus because they actually put after the big three left, they were not so much of a great team. I'm like, yeah, it was kind of, eh. But ever since when the big three left, or actually the big four, if you really want to think about it, with Rajon Rondo, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett. I mean, if you think of those four,
Yeah.
I mean, they actually put Boston on the map. I mean, yes, they were like for the history of what the Celtics had. Ever since Larry Bird actually put Boston, or actually, probably want to say after Larry Bird, pre Bill Russell, actually put Boston back on the map. Ever since Larry Bird retired, they weren't nothing, right? Ever
Not for
since,
what their history says.
yeah, for what their history says, they were nothing, right? So if you actually look at it, so after Larry Bird, they were nothing, and after this big four, the big four, they were nothing for a short time. Then here comes Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They actually kept Boston on the map. And I do agree. Those two together are like Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. As a team wise, those two together are going to be great things. If you keep them two together, there's a lot of great things are going to happen with the Boston Celtics. And I hate to say it because I also hate Boston too. But with them being this great, I cannot shy away from greatness. Just like how some people hate LeBron, just absolutely hate him, like you did when you burned his jerseys when he left Miami.
I did.
But I'll say this though. For what he has done, for what LeBron has done also, I cannot, like I said, I cannot shy away from greatness. I will accept how great you are and how you do stuff with the game. It's just how you put yourself out there for it. That's probably what everyone hates. So that's why I dislike LeBron on, but how he plays the game and how great that he played. I can't say nothing about the guy. He's one of the greatest basketball players that has ever played. One of the greatest players that has ever played. Michael Jordan, number one.
Exactly right. If we had 20 LeBron leave, early 2010s, the year LeBron left, if we had that version of me sitting here right now, it'd be a whole different version of me.
Oh, you try to punch me right through the camera.
Oh yes, absolutely. But as
you
I've
would
gotten
leave,
older,
you would leave this call, drive to my house, and punch me right across the face, and then leave.
yes, because I hated LeBron. I hated him so much. I rooted for his misery every second. I really did. He left Miami, and I still, to this day, think he did Miami a little dirty. I do. We made him a champion. We developed into what he is. We really did. Cleveland in the first place. We made LeBron what he is. But as I've gotten older and a little wiser, I've come to enjoy the LeBron era because truly, I'm wearing the hat right now. Look, back-to-back champions. LeBron was a big reason for that. Now, without Dwayne Wade, we don't win. Without Chris Bosh, Ray Allen, we don't win. Without Eric Spoelstra, we don't win. But LeBron was a very big chunk of the reason why we won those championships. So I have grown to appreciate LeBron's career. He's been a great player to hate, to love. I mean, even when I hated him back in the day, it made me invested in watching the game because I wanted to watch LeBron lose. He's made the game better. I appreciate LeBron for what he is. Now, I'm not one to rank players right now. I would take Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan over LeBron. But I do think LeBron's Mount Rushmore. I absolutely had that discussion before. I think on this podcast. Actually, it's been a while. But LeBron's Mount Rushmore. As I've gotten older, he just is. Like you said, you can't shy away from greatness. He's not. I don't like him. I don't want to ever see him win a championship again. I really don't. I didn't want to see him win the last two he won. But
Yep.
Can't shy from it.
Yep. Can't shy.
That was a great casual talk.
I could always ask.
That was it. Well, we've gotten 2 down, so we got exposing backstory now. So more casual talk to come again. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think of casual talk. We want to learn a little bit of our sports past, our previous opinions, how they compare to our opinions now. So a lot of good things I think will come out of that casual talk. So again, let us know, what do you think? You like it? You don't like it? Hey, we're open for criticism here. So with that, me and JB got one more topic. We're going to jump right back in the world of college basketball again because some big news came out of the world of college basketball last night. Number 1, UConn, and the defending national championship UConn lost. They didn't just lose. They lost to Creighton, and they lost to Creighton massively, who's ranked number 15th in the nation. JB, what's your thoughts on that now? Number 1 going down.
Well, I want to say UConn played their greatest. Because I'm looking at their team stats right now, right? And they shot horrible. And I mean horrible. Horrible. Just straight horrible. Garbage. Dumpster fire. Like it's that bad. Right? 26 to 59. And that's their field goal. 26 out of 59. They shot 44%. 44. Oh, this gets worse. It gets worse. 3-point. Just guess how many shots they took.
Didn't they shoot 18%?
Yep, 18.8%. 3 out of 16.
That's
free
horrible.
Throws.
Oh
free
my
throws.
God.
They even missed free throws. It's free. Everyone loves free things, and you can't even. That's probably the only good stat that they had, though. They went 11 for 13. They made 84% of their free throws. Good job. But no. Look at the Creighton Blue Jays, right?
Creighton. I like that.
54% on field goals. 54. They shot 29 for 53. Right? Yeah, good job. Good job. 54%. Better than most NBA teams, shooting better, right? 3-point. You don't even see this often, right? 50% of their 3 points. 50. How often do you see that stat line? In a 3-point.
Especially at the college level.
Especially in college, yes. They shot 14. They made 14 and attempted 28. And I just look at their I didn't just look, but their free throws. It was probably one of the most horrible stat lines. Because you would think it's like, oh yeah, 54% in field goals and 50% at 3-point. They should have shot 100% in free throws, right? Right? No. No, of course not, right? Why wouldn't they? They had 76.5%. They made 13 out of 17. Come on. Like I said, it's free. Heck, it's so free. Michael Jordan can still close his eyes and make a free throw.
And he's in his 60s now, if I'm not mistaken.
He can still dunk. He can still dunk. I say he can still play. Screw it. Come out of retirement just for one game, see how he plays. I bet you he drops 25 points.
The man's in his 60s. Come on. He's the greatest player to ever lace up a pair of shoes. He is number one, and it's not close. But he's in his 60s.
You know what? I just thought of an idea.
Don't say what I think you want to say. Go ahead.
During the All-Star week, they should have they should have an old timers game. Mm-hmm. Because look at how, and also if you're actually really thinking about it, how many of the greats that actually played really well are at the All-Star week? Just how many? Just on top of your head, how many? Quite a bit, right? Get those old fucking sneakers out. Get back on the court. Let's see it one more time. Come on. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan would be there. Larry Bird. Heck, Larry Bird. Like, come on, Shaq. Like, let's get
Reggie Miller.
Let's get them all out. Let's get them all back out, so all these youngsters can see that actually say, "I've seen Michael Jordan play a basketball game." Let's do it. Let's do it. I will. Let's do it. I say it.
The NBA All-Star Game's so bad now that I'm willing to try anything. So you know what? Yeah, might as well. To get back on track, to kind of bounce off of what you said, you have Crichton. I like that. That's our first basketball Crichton we've gotten here. Crichton. But let's look at Crichton. So they actually went in losing their last 6 games versus number 1 seeds. Their head coach Greg McDermott is quoted on saying, quote, "We played a really good game and beat an incredible team. It's a historic game for our program," Greg McDermott said. Look, the UConn, 18% from 3. Holy mackerel. But I'm going to talk about more what the Blue Jays did, what Crichton did. Because they played an outstanding game. Stephen Ashworth scored 16 of his 20 points in the first half. The Blue Jays made 14 of 28 from 3-point, like you said, which is second best shooting night from beyond the arc this season. So, Crichton played an outstanding game. So, looking at UConn, the defending national champions, they're still probably the favorite to win the national championship. I would say at least. Want to be the sports bet is UConn will win, repeat. But they have 3 losses. Number 2 ranked Houston has 3 losses. Number 3 ranked Purdue has 3 losses. So each team has 3 losses or more.
Mm-hmm.
Especially top 3 seeds. That leaves room for Purdue in there. I'm in denial. I probably am. We could really do it this year, right? We really could. There's no other team that is just significantly better than Purdue. UConn is not significantly better than Purdue. They're not. They have horrible nights too. They just lost to Crichton, who hadn't beaten a top-ranked team in the last 6 tries. Let's not act like Crichton's in the same class as Purdue and all them. So it's truly anyone's ball game in NCAA this season. Anyone could win. There's always upsets in March Madness. Getting close to there.
Well, there's always an upset when Purdue plays.
Hey, not this season. Hopefully not. It ain't gonna happen. Zach Edey is the best player in the nation. We have a chance. That's all I'm saying is we have a chance. I'm telling you, yes, it's Matt Painter. I understand. I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not. He smells it. I know he smells it. But I know I've said this before about mini Purdue. But Zach Edey is good enough to overcome the failure, I think. Matt Painter's going to choke. He's going to try. He's going to do his damnedest.
and he's going to succeed.
Zach Edey's the best player in the country.
Mhm.
Truly the best player in the country. When have we had a number one total overall possible pick? I think I don't look to see what the experts say on draft polls. Pretty much, I watch film myself. He's a lottery pick. He's a top 3 pick, in my opinion. So I think he might be good enough to overcome the failure. But then again, that's probably just the lack of denial in me, because I say this every year. I said it with Caleb Swanigan, rest in peace. I've said it many times. I've said it with Jaden Ivey, because he was electrifying. So hopefully I'm wrong
And
this time.
he's electrifying in the NBA too. He's actually doing really well.
He's doing well with the Pistons. He's just playing for a really horrible team that gets no coverage. He's a good player. He's a good player. We had one more in the past. We've had Chris Kramer in the past. We've had plenty. Jawan Johnson played in the NBA.
Mhm.
So we've had plenty of talent. But hopefully I'm wrong this time. Hopefully this is truly the year. Purdue. The best team I've seen in a long time. We're good enough to beat UConn. They shot 18% from 3.
Mhm.
They've lost just as many games as we have. It's truly anyone's game.
I agree.
And I think that's probably what makes college basketball interesting. And it's March Madness is just, let's be honest, on the Super Bowl this year. Kind of boring. Unless you're a Chiefs fan, I get it, whatever. Kind of boring to see a team go back to back. In my opinion, you have basketball teams go back to back all the time. Miami's done it. Golden State's done it. I mean, teams go back to back all the time. But in college, basketball is really, really hard because the transfer portal, all the players get paid now, all this extra stuff that's in there now, on top of the fact that obviously you can only play a certain amount of years, or you go pro, or you just stop.
Mhm.
So it's hard to stay relevant in college basketball. That's what makes it so much fun.
Yep.
But that is all we have for today's Unbiased Hard Take. JB, anything else you want to add, my friend? Our first basketball podcast of the season, and many more to come.
Oh man. Still sad to say that the NFL season is done. Like I said, there's gonna be quite a few news that's gonna come up right when the actual free agents, or when that time comes. That's when I feel like it's probably one of the best times during the off season, because you really don't know who's gonna pick or who's gonna pick up and who's gonna trade. And what it's probably one of the exciting things about the NFL, because you don't know where people are going. So that's almost around the corner too. So that's gonna be great. But I really want to see an old timers all-star game. I really want that to happen. So I don't know. I might try to do. I'm gonna just shoot my shot. It's like, hey, here's an idea. Go with it. But
they'll probably play harder than the actual players.
Oh yeah. But for some of them that are actually really old, make it half court, maybe. We'll do something about their age. We'll probably make the court, a little shorter, because they're getting old.
3-on-3.
No, we need a full 5-on-5. We need a full on. And we'll have the oldest coaches in the league, or this came out of retirement, or heck, Pat Riley. He can coach one of them. He can coach one of the conferences. And Greg Popovich, screw it, he'll coach another one. I mean, am I wrong? No, of course I'm not. Of course I'm wrong on a lot of things, but with this is probably the best time. And that's a great idea. I'm gonna put this in my head. I am going to do something with it. I'm trying to. But
Hey, NBA, if you're listening, JB has an idea for y'all.
Yep. So that's all I got.
That. Here's what I got for us, look, people. Again, NFL season's over. NBA's still on its All-Star break. There are no games till tomorrow. So, not those kind of slim pickings for news this week. We did our best this week because there was not a lot going on unless you want to talk about NBA All-Star Game or college basketball, which we love doing. We are a fan of basketball, of many sports here. We are knowledgeable on many things. But, sports lovers here. But, slim pickings this week. Hope we did y'all good this week. Kind of slow news. Don't worry though, March Madness is coming. NFL draft off season coming. The combine's next week, so we'll be talking about that. So things are gonna start ramping up. It's a slow time right now in sports, but that's all we got. Subscribe, like us on Facebook. Check out the Sports Fact of the Day. Again, that's all I got. Slim pickings this week. Gonna be picking up NBA action next week again. Thank goodness. And combine action next week in the NFL. So, plenty of thing. That's all I got. Till next ways, go Pat, go. Let's go Heat. Boiler up, baby. I'm in denial. I'll admit it. I don't care.
And I'm in. I mean, it's whatever. I smell the March Madness failures right around the corner. But let's go Steelers. Let's go Heat. And let's go Purdue. Let's win us. Try to win us an actual March Madness. But I smell failure. So until next week.
Till next week. We'll see y'all.
See y'all next week.